Hello, Professor Riha. This is my poster for the final milestone for the Uno game. Now, a lot of the stuff on here is really small because I had a very limited amount of space, obviously. But yeah. So I tried to fit everything as big as I can. I'm assuming if it was an actual presentation, it'd be a lot easier to see. But I did the best I can. So for starters, I explained what this milestone project was. It was an Uno game, obviously you know that, but I just went over a little bit of an overview of what I was actually presenting on this poster. For the first milestone, I created a storyboard and a flowchart to map out the rest of the milestones. Basically, I didn't include the flowchart because it was so small that you wouldn't have been able to see anything anyway. But then milestone 2, I did the ADT, and I included 2 examples of that. For milestone 3, I did the UML diagrams, which I have a piece of mine here, which is why the arrows seem disconnected, and the console from my milestone 3, which displayed my hand and the computer's hand, which was randomly generated, and I had all my objects I had little drafts of all my objects. For the fourth milestone, I had completed a functioning Uno game that had a few issues with it that I ended up fixing later, and I have a code snippet throughout the console and the from Eclipse, and yeah, it was functioning enough, no errors or anything. And then for the final milestone, I revised my storyboard, and just to focus the scope on what I was going to have my final product look like. And the main thing I changed was in milestone 4, I had the computer player. I made it into a method. The computer turn was just a method. It wasn't an actual object, which doesn't make a ton of sense thinking back on it, but I figured for one computer it worked. But for multiple computer players, which is what I wanted to implement in my final product, it wasn't very practical. So I created the computer player class, and I deleted the computer turn method, and I implemented that. And so now there's multiple computer players. If the player wants, they can select anywhere between 1 to 5 computer players. And yeah, I have 2 code snippets. The first is of the new computer player class, and then the second is of the completed game loop. And yeah, so that is what my poster looks like, and this is what the code looks like. I'll go ahead and show you the computer player class. You can see it closer up. Relatively simple. It's the same as the method, kind of. I have the computer turn as one of the methods for the computer player class, but I also gave it, a hand and a name that it would display. And yeah, I have all of my code right here. I didn't touch any of the other classes, I don't think. Yeah, I'm fairly certain none of the other classes were changed, and if they were, it was very minor and not really worth talking about. And I also added a little bit of pretty design things, like I made it so where the computer could choose, or the player can choose their name, which I couldn't figure out last time, and I'll just run with 5 the max amount of players. And I think the user interface looks a bit better too. Let's see, I'll play blue 3, and it kind of has a little delay for each computer player, so you can kind of follow the path of the cards, and that leads to the pile, and now it's the player's turn. A green 8. Okay, I can play a green 0. And yeah, this continues until there's a winner. I'll go ahead and see if I can win this, or at least get someone to win. I think I might be able to. I have a pretty decent hand. Blue 4. We'll have Uno now, but... And nope. Yeah. Well, you get the point. I'm running out of time, but yeah, that's my project. Yeah, that's all I have to show you. Thank you.